Alec. I'm the team lead for Nostalgicat, and similar to Ben, we recently took part in Transfuser and DunDev, which all happened as part of our relationship that we've started building with Northampton. So I'll go a bit into about how that happened. And it started with our team. We're from a bit of all over the place. So our 2D artist, Roy, she came over to the UK from Taiwan to study children's book illustration with her partner Tony, who's back there in the corner. No need to stare, but he's our game designer, and I met him on a games course at Anglia Ruskin University in Cambridge. I was doing the programming side of the course, he was doing the art side, and during a group project of about 12 people, he was probably the guy who I felt we had the most chemistry. We worked really well together, and after finishing uni, we spent a couple of months, maybe firing an application here and there. It was really tough, kind of hard to figure out, how we're going to make this work now that I've got these skills. And we decided, well, in the meantime, let's just start making our own project, get some experience, help build our portfolios. But that project quickly became, we got a bit too invested, and it became what we wanted to do full time. And it was then that we started looking at Transfuser as a way to build our own studio. And it was also that time that we introduced Tom to the team, and he came in to do business development, which I think is really important to get a grip on early if you want to start your own studio. And he also did some sound design and composing. I'm the programmer, I don't mention that. I have a background in electrical engineering and pivoted into games after a few years in that industry, because I felt like that's where my passion really lies. So this is our first game, it's called New School. You play as this small lizard character, and you'll be exploring a continent called the Canvas. It's a 2D Metroidvania, and the whole purpose is to reintroduce colour to the world and the associated emotions that come with that. You'll be exploring the continent with this character called Lucy, who's sort of dealing with her inability to feel or have access to certain emotions, and sort of shows a lot about human masking and those sort of problems that we face, and how you can lose touch with your emotions. And a bit of gameplay here, if I can get it to play. So it's a 2D Metroidvania, as I said. The main core mechanic of the game, the USP, is that most of the world has been hand-drawn twice, and so that's a big part of what we want to try and focus our studio around, is bringing these 2D experiences that feel really interactive and full of life, and have your actions as a player, your narrative choices, your intermittent gameplay decisions, really having the environment respond to you and feel like you're a part of this world. And because it's a Metroidvania, we also know that players, that player base, they like some challenge, they like to explore, find secrets, and so we're really trying to tie these things together around that core mechanic of colouring. Yep. So, I guess officially we started on this project maybe end of 2024, just after we finished uni. It was a hobby for a few months, and then come maybe January 2025, so we're just after a year, that's when we decided we wanted to really make this game, make this studio. And we found Transfuser, which we managed to join up with Ben's team on flight as well, and had a great experience. Met loads of wonderful people. Highly recommend it if any students here are interested in starting their own studio. But the problem for us is that our university wasn't really interested in taking part, unfortunately. We tried quite hard to communicate with them that how big of an opportunity this was for us, and how having their support, which we weren't really asking for much in terms of equipment or an office space or anything. Really just needed them to communicate with UK Games Fund and help us get involved. That didn't come about, That's why we're here today, really, because we had a look at which universities and which establishments in the UK were open to supporting teams that hadn't taken part in their own courses or their own programs. And Northampton is one of, I think, only 6 or 7 in the country that will do that. And that's a huge deal to teams like us. We really encourage, communication and collaboration. And I think it feels really welcoming to be a part of this community here. It's now how we consider our main link to the games industry. And we want to kind of give that back to people, We want to work with people in other parts of the UK, outside of the UK, really get as many people involved in how supportive the games industry can be. I think to do that, really helpfully, we first need to release our first game, help grow as a studio, and hopefully we can reinvest that back. And I think on here we have Northampton Games World, which was that was our first real showcasing opportunity, and that was organised by the University of Northampton. And it was a fantastic experience for us, just getting people who had never heard of us, no idea who we were, no idea what the game was, come in and play it, and getting their feedback. It was a really, really big occasion for us. It was later in July that we formed our business, and September Transfuser ended, and we were fortunate enough to be selected alongside Mothlight again. We see a lot of each other. We got into DunDev, which was another great experience that helped us get more funding. And I think that was, along the way, when we first started, it was just we want to make games. Of course, we want them to be successful, but the experiences you have showcasing, working with other studios, that really is a big part of why we do what we do. And I think our kind of personal drive really comes from wanting to create stories that will leave an impact, and as mentioned before, having that level of interaction in the game world where you can really immerse yourself and feel it respond to everything you do. And I think, at the moment we're focusing on 2D, because that's where our artist strengths lie, but we really want to expand and grow as a studio and tackle other projects, but always with this kind of narrative focus. I think that's a really big thanks to Northampton for having us. We're not not from around here, but it really worked out for us, and we look forward to giving back. And I think also, if there's any programmers out there who would like to give us a hand, definitely get in touch, because we are planning to expand soon on that front. I think I need some support as trying to get this game together. So thanks so much.